Hello everyone, I hope you're all well at the start of this week. It's Monday tea time. Now I know I said I'd be doing my next video with my post-match reaction on Wednesday after leaving St James's Park following the Carabao Cup last 16 match against Spurs. When I was on my lunch break today, I was scrolling through X just to see if there was any news and that, because we've applied for Everton. I saw a post I came across from Toon Polls saying that the atmosphere on Saturday was horrific and we need to get St James's bouncing every game, not just when the big boys roll into town, and the atmosphere only picked up when the team's performance did in the last 20 minutes or so. Now, I was just going to the gym, but I thought, you know what, I want to do a quick video on this. So welcome back to the Magnificent Mags channel. Thank you for tuning in. But yeah, my thoughts on this. Look, I've seen, like, I've went through the comments and the quotes, and I've seen everyone attacked on it from, there's too many older season ticket holders there's too many women. I mean, too many women, bit misogynistic, but I understand the other side of it, where people have quite rightly said those who come in 10 minutes late and then leave 10 minutes early, and then they're bringing like hot dogs up and that. That was my one complaint with the cup final 2 years ago against Man U. People coming in 15, 20 minutes in with hot dogs and that, like they were at some American like football game. It was, honestly, that was horrific. Now that I don't get. Like, I understand like when some people have got others as tickets, but then they don't turn up till 10, 15 minutes into kickoff and then they leave early. I'm like, why are you there? And understand people like, look, I'm not going to attack anyone if people need to get away for traffic reasons, but I always, look, me personally, I stay till the end, but I don't get this categorization and why we've become such, like, it feels like a tiered fan base where it's like, if you're not singing, you're getting attacked. Because look, the football's everyone's escape, but look at the world right now. We've got a cost of living crisis. Some people might be on the bones of their arse until payday, but like some people might like have that game as their escape, and they might just want to go there. They mightn't be spending much, but the football's their 90-minute release. They just want to sit there and quiet and watch the game. Look, that's their right. And I can't believe people are saying it's the older generation's fault, when a lot of them were probably the hardcore support who travelled the length and breadth of this country in the 80s, 70s maybe, 90s, early 2000s, and now they've done the hard miles and they just want to go to the home games or the odd away game, because obviously it takes a lot out of you in your body when you're doing away days. And look, let's admit, away days are always better because it's an adventure. We're going to West Ham this Sunday, and I'm hopeful I might just get a ticket for Everton, because everyone, I think, wants to go to their new ground, but it'll depend, obviously. I know Germany and Marseille sandwich that game somewhat, and so it'll depend on coin. But if I get the Hill Dickinson, I still find that a weird name for a stadium, but if I get Everton, that's a new ground. It's exciting, and it's like a mini holiday. You're going away with your mates or your family. You might meet new friends. Some of my Matchday lads who our group who we've met on away coaches in the past, and then we've got on well, mutual like interests, and then we start to go to games together. That's what away games are exciting about. That's where you meet new mates. And then obviously your mutual like interest is the two, and you want them to do well. And then you maybe go to a new town, new ground. It's exciting. You pick a new area. Like when it's the long games like Brighton and that, or Ipswich, we choose somewhere to stay over. Like last couple of times we went to Brighton, we've went to Coventry and then Northampton, because we thought no one's going to go there unless those teams ever come up. So you're like, why would you stay there? Because it's just over halfway, and then it's an easier drive the next day. But whether you're driving, whether you're getting the coach, whether you're on the train, like they're exciting, because it's the excitement of going there, having a few drinks, and then possibly watching your team steal all 3 points, and then it's the banter with the home crowd giving them stick. Like we had it at Forest last season, the second round. They thought they were going through, and we went like 3-1 down on pens, but then Longstaff sent us through, and then we were giving it all that to them. But that's just part of the away day experience. Of course, that's going to be better. But there's a lot of reasons with home games. So people have said the Millburn's quiet, but I understand, look, the owners and directors are in there. There's corporates, so I understand those sections probably won't sing as much. You've got the press in there. Leazer's End, I used to sit in there 15, 20 years ago, always used to be bouncing. East Stand's the only part of the ground I haven't sat in, because I've always felt it's a morgue, let's be honest. But these stands always felt like that to me. That's my personal opinion. You might feel different. But then when I saw the opportunity, I moved to the Gallagher, and then as soon as a ticket came up in the corner, that's why I am now. And I think the corner's always noisy, a bit like the Gallagher. because we've got the standing section. I love it, me personally, but obviously not everyone can be in there for health reasons. You could be older, mightn't be able to stand. That's totally understandable. But I feel if the club want to get the atmosphere back, the first thing they need to do is bring the away fans down from the Leazes End. Look, it's all funny and that to begin with when they're up there and the gods, but it just dilutes the atmosphere where it's all home fans in the lower bowl and that, and then the Millburn Leazes corner. So I feel the need to bring the away fans down, then it'll get the banter going and it'll get the atmosphere up, because feels like we can ignore them when they're up there. The design of the ground, their away end doesn't really travel. I heard on Saturday a couple of mates who sit in the Leazes, they said it was good in some parts, but not in others. And then they were saying no noise from the Geordie boys when they equalised. Oh, shh. But look, that home atmosphere, I feel like we're a reactionary crowd as well, and it all depends on the opposition. Look, things that get the atmosphere up is depend on the opposition. So when we've got a Liverpool, especially what's happened this summer, that game was noisy. Benfica, yes, it wasn't as noisy as PSG or Barca, but it was still noisy. European games, because obviously the prestige of being in the Champions League, of course it's going to be noisier. That's to be expected. The cup game this Wednesday, I feel that the Spurs game will be noisier than Saturday gone, because we're defending, we're trophy, we've got something to defend. And it's a nighttime game. Nighttime games under the lights are always different. Of course they are. It's like a bear pit against the opposition. And look, you're never going to get the atmosphere up at a 3 p.m. On a Saturday against Fulham. No disrespect to Fulham, because look, it's been proven there's not really any easy games in the league. I mean, Sunderland are up there at the moment, even though I feel we'll reel them in. And Bournemouth are up there. But look, you look at some of those fixtures, and against the Manchester Uniteds, yes, they've got 3 consecutive wins. But what happened in the 90s when I mainly grew up, they ruined a lot of our childhoods. The title race in 96, they beat we again in 97, they beat we in the FA Cup final in 99. We've still got that beef in there with what they had done to us in the 90s. And then all the title race in the early 2000s under Bobby when we finished third. 22 years ago. Arsenal, obviously, the whole beef recently with Arteta, blaming the ball, and calling it a disgrace when we beat them in 2023, 2024, when he said the ball had went out, even though it hadn't. So you've got all that. Obviously, I know the ball was down at the Emirates, but stuff like that, like snipey comments against you, or the Isak saga, gets the atmosphere up. Decisions against you, like Peter Banks' performance on Saturday, awful. That gets the crowd up. But look, and it's also a balance. Like, you can say the atmosphere's got to be good all the time, but look, I'm going to admit, it's not like the 80s or 90s or early 2000s. It's not going to be what it was. The way the game's moving on, obviously you've got the ballot system. You might get fans who just want to come here and watch the game. Like I said, you can't label fans. If a fan wants to come there, they've paid the money and they just want to sit quiet, that's their right. Unfortunately, you can't force people to sing, and you can't categorise people saying, oh, need to be more children in, get rid of the older season ticket holders. They're the ones who've done the miles in the past, and yeah, their body mightn't allow them to sing. And when I go to the ground, how much do I sing? Look, I'm there at my seat before kick-off. I'm there until the final whistle. That's my personal choice. Like I said, it's everyone's choice what you choose to do. Don't let anyone make you feel bad for what you do. But do I sing the whole of the game? Of course I don't. I probably sing across both halves. 40-50% of the first half, 50-60% of the second half. That can vary though, because again, the players have to give you something back. You can't just keep singing if it's an awful performance or you're 3 or 4-0 down. I know that's rare these days under Eddie Howe, but the players do have to give something back, but you've got to also caveat that with the players were trying on Saturday and they still found a way to win, despite them being fatigued. Trippier, I don't expect him to start on Wednesday because he's 35 and he's playing in the absence of Tino, but he still give his all. Yes, they mightn't have the best performance, but they still found a way to win. And that's it. And then I feel like something they could do as well, a good suggestion I've heard of a friend, is Man City. If you want to get more younger fans in, because I understand younger fans, like when a family member brings you there for the first time, you see the pitch. It's a well-known quote, like Bobby said, that hallowed stretch of turf beneath you. Like seeing that, like for the first time, like it just gets into your veins. You're hooked up to the black and white ride. And like when younger fans come in, they want more of it, and obviously they want to sing because they're buzzing to be there. It's the whole experience of it. People call me, well, one of my mates we'll go to the match with calls me Tigger on a match day because I'm bouncing when it's a match day. I have the tunes on my telly before I go out, and it's having the pre-match pints, talking about the game just gone, what you expect in the lineup. It's part of the match day experience. But am I more buzzing for Spurs this Wednesday or Benfica last week than I am against Fulham? Of course I am. It depends on the opposition. But another good suggestion I've seen is maybe make the Gallagher an all-standing section, make it a dedicated singing section, like they've got like the Yellow Wall for Germany with Borussia Dortmund at Signal Iduna Park. Stuff like that seems to work. If we've done that, yeah, it's a possibility that it could work. Sorry, I did get sidetracked. My friend's suggestion was a ballad for younger fans because Manchester City do that. And yes, young fans could inject something into the crowd to make others sing. Like I said, I'm not labelling anyone here, but younger fans, they bring that enthusiasm, that youthful like vibrance about them. And then if you hear them singing, you're like, go on, son. And then you're like, it makes you want to do it. So that's something that could work because it has a knock-on effect. But I don't like this whole tiered system the fan base is getting, like trying to say it's older season ticket holders, it's women, stuff like this. I know the mag post stories and it's reactionary, but I've seen something about someone saying that there was tourist fans there at the Barcelona game. Look, of course you're going to have people like that. It's the way the club's going. It's the trajectory we're on. And you're going to have fans coming there just to see the opposition. It's just the way it is. Barcelona, one of the world's biggest clubs. And you're going to have fans coming there to see such elite European opposition. That's just how it goes, unfortunately. And then corporate take like percentage. So that's look, you've just got to accept the realities of the world now. It's not going to be like it was in the 80s, the 90s, or parts of the early 2000s. But yeah, if fans want to sing, let them. If fans don't want to sing, don't make them feel bad just because they want to go there and watch the game. You don't know what's going on with that fan. They could have something bad going on in their lives, like they could have lost someone. They could be having financial struggles, something like that. Like they might be of ill health. You don't know. Don't judge someone because they're not singing. Look, I know other stands are different. The Gallagher in the corner always going to be noisy because it is like the hardcore end of the ground. I love being in there, but it was my choice to be in there. Others might want to sit in other parts of the ground and just watch the team, and then they'll celebrate and chant a little bit when we score. But I've said there's lots of factors here. It depends on the opposition. It depends like what's going on in your life personally. You might just want to go there, like I said, and watch the game. It's your escape for those 90 minutes. That's what sport is. And it depends, obviously, like I said, the away fans being at the top. It depends where you sit in the ground. There's lots of factors. And of course, the atmosphere is going to be better against bigger clubs. That is just how it works. But yeah, I just wanted to come on and comment because I find it annoying and really condescending that some fans feel they can just attack others and say that they shouldn't be at the ground if they're not willing to sing. There's lots of things going on, so just remember, be empathetic to your fan next to you. They might be there and they might be singing. Like the fans singing might be having a bigger struggle than those who aren't. Some might just be happy to just sit there like that and go, I love my team, I love my club, I'm buzzing to be here. Look, I'm fortunate, I'm a season ticket holder, and football is expensive. And yeah, we're all counting the pennies and trying to make our money stretch. And when away games come up, like I said, I feel privileged that I'm able to go to them. Despite this new system, I didn't vote for the new system, I voted for, I think it was option 3, but that's just how it is. So just be empathetic to your fellow fan. But anyway, that's it from me for now. I just want to do a quick 15-minute video on that. But thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you after Spurs on Wednesday. Bye-bye. Good night.